Welcome, guys, to Module 3. Today, I want to talk to you about shifting realities. How do you shift your reality? And first of all, let's talk about techniques to shift your mental state, break free from negative patterns, and visualize techniques for your desired outcome. You see, for you to reach, so for example, I think you know that, let's say this is an alternative space. This is the dark, let's say a place for everything that's happening around the world, for your life and everything in between. In order for you to change your mental state, you could do, in my opinion, 5 things, and it all depends on your uh, situation, your abilities, and your. So basically, number one, what you could do is basically drop importance. I mean, if you drop importance means something like reminding yourself that this will not matter in 5 years, or having this ring that King Solomon had that says this too shall pass, right? So you drop importance. You inflated an importance for a subject and then you drop it. Number two is writing affirmations. Like if you feel something worries you, if you feel you are scared, not in control, if you feel anxiety, maybe you had a breakup, I don't know, like no matter what is happening, you can always have some affirmations. So it's whether you write, you take a piece of paper and you write those affirmations and you feel better, which is a very powerful technique. Or you can go to YouTube and let's say lay down in your room and listen to affirmations about your inner child, listen to affirmations about wealth, listen to affirmations about um, worry, breakup. There is hundreds of affirmations. You just need to find your favorite and like just receive that information and feel better. That worked for me. That worked for me big time. Like I'm telling you, the power of affirmations is very, very, very big. The next thing for you guys is talk. Talk to a friend, talk to a community. That's why we are here. That's what we're here for. We're here to help each other. And I've always wanted to have this community of people that are mindful of their language. You see, when you give other people examples, you don't say you statements because it's an affirmation. For example, a lot of people that are unconscious of this matter or of this fact, or a lot of people that are unconscious of human power, of your divine power, they end up using you words. Like, for example, imagine you break, or imagine your car in everyday life, like situations or conversation, or even when we study English. In English books have these statements. Imagine you come home and, like they give you this, and you imagine that, and that may end up happening to you. So very mindful. We are very mindful of our language. So if we give examples, we talk about other people, we say, imagine someone or something happens to. I mean, mostly I'm trying to use positive examples, but if you have a bad experience and if you want other people to feel you, you can say, imagine some person has this situation, or imagine that person has that situation, or think of that person. Like you use a third party, you don't engage person's imaginations to. And one of the things you could do as well is just to shift your mental state, to do meditation, to meditate, to get energy from above, from the source of all that is, right? Like the white, the light energy. You could do that, uh, or at least try to, depending on your situation. And the most important thing that I would recommend to shift your mental state is, guys, to stop listening to bullshit media, to all these songs that stuff your subconscious with unnecessary stuff, to stop using bad words or swearing, like, using. Yeah, I know I mean, it's up to your preference, of course, but be very careful of the words you say. Don't complain. Don't use bad words in regards of talking shit about this world or this, the situation. So be very mindful of the words you use. Never say you can't, say you can, but you have other values. Like, when you talk to other people and if you want to refuse, don't say you can't. Say, for example, oh, I have some tasks that I really have to finish. I uh I prioritize other tasks. Don't say you can't, right? Like you can hinder your ability to manifest using language. It's a spell. I don't know if maybe you're aware of that. It's a spell. Like whatever you say is coming true. That's why affirmations are powerful. So how do you break from negative pattern? Let me explain. So for example, some people have a pattern of something happening in their life constantly, right? For example, what happened to me was when I was in school, I've got bullies. When I got employed, I've got bullies at work. There was a villain. Uh, Neighbor was a villain. I was having this victim mindset, right? Like, oh, this is a bad person. My ex-girlfriend is, like, and some people still live this way up to date. Like something happens habitually all the time. So there is a villain. So it's like a game, a villain, a victim, a prosecutor. Victim, okay. Victim goes to the prosecutor for help. Prosecutor talks to the villain or tries to mitigate, and the villain either stop, like it's a game, it's a cycle, like, and then from the victim you can become a prosecutor. When the prosecutor didn't do their job well, you become angry on them, and the prosecutor becomes the victim. You see, it's like a pattern. It's a game. It's like a psychological game, and some people are playing those games, but not everyone is playing that game. What I want to tell you is, some people have a pattern of things happening to them since their childhood, like always attracting the wrong person, or always like having problems with kids, or regardless of the situation. You may know some neighbors that constantly argue and have like a constant weekly argument. Or maybe you have a neighbor that breaks stuff in their house every week. And every time that's happening, you don't care no more because you know that's a pattern. And if you talk to them about it, they'll give you a solid reason, but they don't realize that their body is addicted to this feeling of hate, this feeling, they are conditioned. Their body craves this feeling. So maybe that's my opinion. That may not be true, but from 0 to 7 years old, they got used or they got addicted to that feeling. Or maybe later, like they got conditioned, they got addicted to that feeling of hate, the adrenaline, and they supply themselves with this adrenaline, with this negative stuff. How do you break free from that? You acknowledge, you realize, you become conscious of your patterns. Okay, what am I like? What are you complaining? Like, what are some things that you think are happening constantly? What are you complaining about? What are you not satisfied about? What is your pattern? What is your negative pattern that's happening? Are you lazy? Are you procrastinating a lot? Is that a pattern? Are you overeating? Is that a pattern? Are you like, what is a pattern that you want to change? Like when you become conscious and you realize, like, why am I doing this? What's happening? Why is this, like, why is the situation like this or like that? And so when you become to realize, that's 50% of the solution. Now, what's left is just simple work. And because, and let me tell you this, in my experience, when I began reprogramming my mind and myself to break free from old patterns of being the victim, or, getting constantly attracting villains or feeling hate, it was not comfortable. It was not comfortable, and and old thoughts habitually, like, sometimes visit your brain, sometimes visit your mind. But if you stay solid, they will go. Um, and the very thing, and the very easy thing is for you to do is basically constantly um just commanding your body. Just, I mean, let me frame it this way. So, for example, if you have a, if you always attract, like, okay, not you, I will be very mindful. If somebody attracts constantly negative people in their relationship, right? They attract toxic people. What that person could do is, for example, that person could, you know, make active affirmations daily that they attract a positive person, they attract a good person, they feel happy, they are addicted to happiness. So if they feel that they are addicted to hate, if they realize that, they can say they are addicted to happiness, they feel happy, they don't need that drama. They attract healthy person, they attract healthy relationships. Affirmations. You can also use AI affirmations. So you can use a voice. You can use, for example, 11 Labs. For example, that's not sponsored. I'm just using it myself. You can write your affirmation and you can download the audio and listen to it. As the person talks to you, listen, hear. Like you make your affirmations and you listen to them and you reprogram and you listen to them as often as you can, as often as you want. Or to help you navigate on your first stages of breaking free from old negative patterns is to just have affirmation videos or affirmation MP3s on repeat from YouTube. You do whatever you do, and then on one earbud, you have the affirmation: you are amazing, you are wonderful, you are beautiful, you are great, you are magnificent, you are whatever. That's one of the ways. The most important task for you this time is to reprogram your subconscious with affirmations, writing down, listening, imagining, having walks to nature, breaking free from this routine, free from this routine if you really want change, like if you really want some positive outcome, because I know how it feels to regret. I know how it feels to feel sad. And so, you know, things that could help you, sport, healthy food, and navigating through these affirmations like that. Um, if we talk about reality transurfing, how to navigate. So basically, you could be aware of this alternative space, and then you will be able to navigate better because you will have an understanding that if, like, these thoughts can also be a pendulum, right? So it's an old habit, old pendulums trying to hook onto you. But if you're empty, if you don't give them energy, if you're empty, as long as I'm empty, nothing can hook onto me. If you remember that, this will also help you. A thought will come to your head and you'll be like, pendulums are real. And if you acknowledge their presence and you decide not to give them energy, they will have no power over you. Um, some exercises you could do is you could just imagine yourself taking that thought every time it appears. So, for example, if you have a negative thought, that's an exercise that I do. If you have a negative thought coming to your head, you can just imagine yourself floating in space, and you can imagine a black dark hole, or you can imagine a pond. Doesn't matter what you imagine. And you can just imagine you take that, I mean, I don't know, imagine a divine hand or your hand or just whatever, or just this thought being sent to this hole and it disappears. Just like the Terminator movie, when he goes through the wall just vibrates and then becomes normal. So you could do that anytime, like every time you feel or get these negative thoughts, you just send them to the trash, to the black hole. That's it. They're done, gone. You can also try and imagine that it's a book. You see these thoughts in a book, you read your chapter of your past life, you close the book and you close it with a key. You can also do that exercise. That will help you a lot. So that's from NLP, Neurological Linguistic Programming. Okay. And so the last question we had is, guys, visualization techniques for desired outcomes. Okay, so when it comes to meditation, guys, I've always been a fan of visualization techniques, visualization meditation. So, for example, if you feel bad, or if you, okay, see, I'm falling into the trap of saying you again. I'm catching myself with that thought. Okay, so if someone feels bad, what I use meditation for is basically to feel better, to reprogram my health. So I used health meditation, where it's a guided meditation, and she was, guiding me through healing and going through this whole process of refreshing myself. You could use visualization techniques or meditation. So where you lay down, and there are meditations there are medita there like you if you go to YouTube, you can say visualization meditation. And it's a guided meditation where you lay down and the person tells you, imagine having your own, like imagine being yourself, imagine having your dream reality, which is something we do here in this group too. I'm very interested and I'm very, very careful. And that's what I really personally like in this group. What I want to make is every day someone takes the turn. So today it's me, tomorrow it's another person from this community, from this group, right? So if like for 15 minutes, imagining our future selves, imagining our future reality, our desired reality, daily, just doing it daily. Read affirmations daily, 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening. Listening to this affirmation, listening to guided meditation. You visualize your future. You visualize your desired reality, your desired outcome. And by sticking to that, you're getting closer every single day to your desired reality. And the most important thing is also to feel your desired reality. Like you imagine it, you feel it, you program yourself, you open your eyes and you imagine and you kind of feel that you are partially in this new reality. You understand that this is a reality that you have been attracting, that you have been working on. So that's the module 3, guys. I hope I could explain everything. I hope I covered everything, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know in the question section. And after every module, I will be having a live Q&A session with you guys. So I want to thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode of Reality Transurfing.